So, I really am honored that the National Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police. And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do if we have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago.
We believe that the National Guard and the military occupation is the first step into rounding black people up and putting them in detainment camps here in Washington, D.C. and around the United States of America.
Chicago mayor is mad. I already told y'all this was going to happen. I told you he was going to be upset. He's already challenging Trump, already telling people to rise up against tyranny. I've never seen anything so insane in my entire life. I've never seen it. They would rather, because they don't want Trump to get a win. This is all about Trump not getting a win. They don't want Trump to come in and do what he did in D.C. because what that shows is that it could have been done. That if Democrats really focused, they could really stop the crime in their cities. But because it shows, the reason they don't want Trump in Chicago to come to Chicago and in Baltimore and these places is because it shows their incompetence. It shows that it could be done. Just like Democrats said for the longest that we needed a bill to secure the border. That's what they was saying for all this time. But they needed a bill. They needed a bill. And it turned out we just needed a new president because immediately when Trump got in office, he shut the border down. The most secure it's ever been. But the Democrats under Joe Biden, when he let in over 20 million illegal immigrants, right? No celebrity, none of these liberals had a problem with that. The invasion of our country. But they want to criticize everything Trump does to try to get these same people out of the country. Right? They want to act like it's immoral to remove these people that Biden let in. Right? So it's just the Chicago is crime ridden. It's dangerous. Baltimore, all these states. And it helps black and brown people. It helps people who are the ones that they're saying that are the ones that they're trying to protect. It is disgusting.
Hey, Trump, you need to bring the National Guards to Chicago, man. You got kids killing kids, man. That's not good, man. Washington, D.C. is not much going on compared to Chicago, man. I'm running. It's a war happening right now in Chicago, man. Hey, look, man. Look, go on the news, or go on Google, type Chicago. I'm going back home to Africa, man. I can't. Too much going on, man, in Chicago, man.
Say thank you to our president, the people's president. Like I keep saying, the real MVP, President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, President Trump, for hearing us, for listening to us. We need you here in Chicago, not just to see the National Guard. We're asking one more thing. We need you to come in and investigate the Brandon Johnson administration, the Pritzker administration, and Tony Brinkle and CTU. Hey, it's all hands on deck. Thank you, President Trump.
What does it say about a city when the people living there, black folks, Latino folks, families, everybody, working class people, start calling on the president of the country to bring in the National Guard to make the streets safe again? That screams of desperation. That screams of pain. That is people saying we've had enough. We've tried everything else. We've tried our mayor. We've tried our governor, but nothing is working. Please bring in someone who doesn't play games, okay? Donald Trump says he's ready to send in the National Guard to Chicago. And the reaction? You'd expect people to be outraged, like the liberals and Democrats are preaching online that people are angry with the National Guard. But a lot of the residents of Chicago are excited. They are clapping. They are saying, finally, we get to see some sanity in our cities. People are fed up with the empty promises they've been receiving from their mayor and their governor, okay? They want to see action, not words, okay? Yet, the governor of Chicago went on to give the residents of his state more empty words, okay? Encouraging them to rise up against Donald Trump and trying to paint Trump as a tyrant, making it look like he is deploying enemies to destroy black people and the residents of Chicago.
Donald Trump wants to use the military to occupy a U.S. city, punish his dissidents, and score political points. If this were happening in any other country, we would have no trouble calling it what it is, a dangerous power grab. Earlier today in the Oval Office, Donald Trump looked at the assembled cameras and asked for me personally to say, "Mr. President, can you do us the honor of protecting our city?" Instead, I say, "Mr. President, do not come to Chicago." You are neither wanted here nor needed here. Your remarks about this effort over the last several weeks have betrayed a continuing slip in your mental faculties and are not fit for the auspicious office that you occupy. Most alarming, you seem to lack any appropriate concern as our commander-in-chief for the members of the military that you would so callously deploy as pawns in your ever more alarming grabs for power.
What a pathetic man. What a horrible cabinet. These guys are just afraid that Trump would restore law and order in these Democrat-led areas. Now, that is why they are doing everything they can to discredit his good work and paint him as a dictator.
Also because the military serves a role to protect Americans, not to be used against Americans.
Exactly.
You keep saying used against Americans. What kind of Americans do you mean? The ones that are murdering us, carjacking us, raping us, terrorizing our cities? I mean, you're saying like he's creating an actual war against American citizens when what he's actually creating is a war against criminals and, by the way, illegal aliens who they are rounding up by the bucket load in Washington.
I want to let Ellie speak, but I mean, look, I'm not saying he's creating a war against American citizens, but I also think that, first of all, when you have, large amounts of armed military personnel on the streets, they're going to encounter a lot of Americans who've done nothing wrong. And those Americans have rights, as do the Americans who have done things wrong, just to be clear. But Americans who have done nothing wrong will get caught up and have gotten caught up in this.
I love the way he destroyed her with a little bit of common sense, okay? These people are going about pretending that Trump is launching an attack on black people or any set of people for that matter, okay? When in reality, Trump is trying to protect black people and fish out criminals who might harm black people or cause harm to other residents of these cities, okay? There is no special attack on black people. There is no attack on black people whatsoever. When she saw that she had been properly debunked, she hopped onto the next ridiculous claim, which is that innocent people are also being apprehended and detained by the National Guard. Now, that is another lie from the pit of hell. We all know that a clear conscience fears no accusations. Yes, you might run into the National Guard if you are innocent and you did nothing wrong, but surely, as long as you are not a criminal, you are going to be on your way in no time. In fact, if you run into the National Guard and they try to question you, you should be more than happy that the National Guard is actively trying to keep your city safe. They are protecting the citizens, including you. You should be more than happy and willingly comply to give them all the information they need. Show them that you're not part of the problem and that you enjoy the fact that they are trying to keep you and other innocent people safe in your community. Anybody who gets offended because of a simple altercation or an inquiry from a National Guard is in fact not innocent at all, okay? If you get offended, that means you have something to hide. Meanwhile, residents in Washington, D.C. are reporting great development with regards to safety and drop in crimes in Washington, D.C. The National Guard officers were even seen picking up trash and tidying up the environment, cleaning everywhere, making the society clean and beautiful again. And liberals are melting down about this. And as unreasonable people are screaming racism and discrimination against them, some reasonable and truthful residents are coming out to express how safe they feel with what Trump has done in D.C.
They said FBI, DEA, ICE, It's all that outside in Washington D.C. I don't even gotta look over my shoulder no more. I'm walking around with this shit. I ain't had none of this shit. I'm walking blocks with this motherfucker. Listen, jump out on me if you want. I'm gonna scream. They gonna be here in 33 seconds. As soon as you jump out, get that shit up. Ah! Help! They gonna help the shit out of me. Y'all niggas jump out if y'all want. Good God almighty, boy. I got some motherfucking help. Some backup. For real, you jump out, I'm gonna blow your ass. Look, they right here. Look, they outside though. Oh, God almighty. I could just scream, they gonna help me.